Have you ever wondered how to put property into a trust? It's a question that might seem complex, but the answer is simpler than you might think, and it holds a wealth of benefits. Putting property into a trust is a strategic move in the game of estate planning. It's like a secret weapon that you never knew you had. A trust, in essence, is a legal entity that holds assets for the benefit of another. It's a bit like a safety deposit box for your most valued possessions. But instead of jewelry or important documents, this box holds your property. Why is it beneficial? Well, it can protect your assets from potential lawsuits, creditors, and probate proceedings. It's a smart way to safeguard your hard-earned investments. It's about planning for the future and ensuring that your property remains secure, no matter what life throws your way. Now, let's delve into the details of how to put property into a trust. Before we start, it's crucial to understand the different types of trusts available. As we delve into the world of property trusts, it's like stepping into an ice cream parlor with an array of flavors to choose from. Each flavor, or in our case, type of trust, comes with its own unique features and benefits. First, let's talk about revocable trusts, also known as living trusts. These are the most flexible trusts, allowing you to maintain control over your property during your lifetime. You can change, amend, or even dissolve the trust whenever you want. However, the flexibility of a revocable trust also means it's subject to estate taxes. Now let's flip the coin and look at irrevocable trusts. Once you establish this type of trust and transfer your property into it, you cannot easily change or dissolve it. It might seem a bit rigid, but this rigidity comes with a silver lining. Irrevocable trusts provide a high level of protection from creditors and can help avoid estate taxes. But wait, there's more. We also have testamentary trusts, which are created in a will and only come into effect after you pass away. These trusts are primarily used to ensure that your assets are distributed according to your wishes after your death. On the other hand, we have asset protection trusts, designed to shield your assets from creditors. These trusts can be a lifesaver if you're in a profession with a high risk of lawsuits. And lastly, we have charitable trusts, perfect for those with a philanthropic heart. These trusts allow you to donate to charity and receive tax benefits, all while maintaining some control over the donated assets. Each of these trusts has its own charm, like the different flavors of ice cream. Some may prefer the flexibility of a revocable trust, while others might be drawn to the asset protection offered by an irrevocable trust. With this understanding, you can choose the trust type that suits your needs best. And just like picking your favorite ice cream flavor, choosing the right trust should leave a sweet taste in your mouth. The first step in putting property into a trust is identifying the property. So what kind of property can you put into a trust? Well, the scope is broad, and it's not just limited to your family home. Real estate is often the first thing that comes to mind. That includes your primary residence, any vacation homes, rental properties, or undeveloped land you might own. But don't forget, trusts can hold more than just bricks and mortar. Your bank accounts, for instance, can also be put into a trust. This could be checking or savings accounts, certificates of deposit, or even retirement accounts. Other financial assets such as stocks, bonds, and mutual funds are also eligible. In addition to financial assets, personal possessions like jewelry, artwork, cars, or collectibles can also be included. And it's not just tangible assets. Intellectual property, like patents, copyrights, or trademarks, can be placed into a trust too. After identifying the property, the next step is to create the trust. Creating a trust involves drafting a trust agreement. Now that we have a clear understanding of what a trust is and have identified the property, let's dive into the real meat of the matter: creating the trust. Imagine the trust agreement as your blueprint. It's the document that outlines how your trust will operate and who benefits from it. It carries the weight of your intentions and hopes for the property you're putting into trust. So, in essence, it's the heart of your trust. One of the key elements of a trust agreement is the name of the trust. This isn't just a label, it's an identifier, a way to distinguish your trust from the rest. It's the name that will be used in legal documents and discussions related to your trust. So, choose a name that's meaningful to you, but also clear and easy to recognize. Next, you'll need to designate a trustee. This individual or institution is entrusted with the responsibility of managing the trust property according to the terms you set. They're the custodians of your trust, so choose wisely. Think about their skills, reliability, and their relationship with the beneficiaries. Speaking of beneficiaries, they're the people or organizations who will benefit from your trust. They could be your children, your spouse, a beloved charity, or any other entity you wish to support. Be clear about who they are and what they stand to gain from the trust. Now let's talk about the terms of the trust. This is where you outline how the trust should operate, how the property should be managed, and when and how the benefits should be distributed to the beneficiaries. Be as detailed as possible to avoid any ambiguity or misinterpretation. Remember, drafting a trust agreement isn't a DIY project. It's a legal document that requires precision and legal expertise. Therefore, always seek legal advice to ensure your trust agreement is solid, valid, and in line with your intentions and the law. Once the trust agreement is drafted, the next step is to transfer the property into the trust. And we'll delve into that in the next segment. Stay tuned. Transferring property into a trust involves changing the title of the property. This might sound like a complex task, but believe me, it's straightforward when you understand the process. It's similar to the way you'd transfer property under any other circumstances, with a few specific nuances. First, let's talk about what it means to change the title of the property. The title is essentially the legal document that specifies who owns the property. When we talk about changing the title, we mean changing the ownership from your personal name to the name of the trust. It's like handing over the keys to the trust. Now, how do we do this? Well, it's achieved by using a deed or other legal document that's acceptable in your jurisdiction. This document will state that the ownership of the property is being transferred from you as an individual to the trust. It's crucial to ensure that the name of the trust is written correctly on this document. Any minor discrepancy can create complications down the line. Keep in mind, this deed or document needs to be notarized, and in some cases, it may also need to be recorded in the county where the property is located. This process makes the transfer of the property official and public record. It's also important to note that transferring property into a trust might have tax implications. In some cases, the transfer might be considered a gift and could be subject to gift tax. Therefore, it's always a good idea to consult with a tax advisor or an attorney before moving forward with this process. Transferring property into a trust is a significant step, but it's a step that grants you control over how your property is managed and distributed in the future. It's about creating a legacy and ensuring that your wishes are carried out, even when you're no longer around to oversee them. With the property transferred into the trust, the process is almost complete. But remember, a trust is not a one-and-done deal. It's a living entity that needs continuous care and attention, but more on that later. The final step in putting property into a trust is maintaining the trust. The process doesn't end at transferring the property. It's an ongoing journey, much like tending to a garden. It's about nurturing your trust to ensure it grows and serves its purpose effectively. Now let's talk about the key figure in this maintenance process, the trustee. The trustee is the gardener, so to speak, who has the responsibility of managing the trust. This includes overseeing the property, ensuring that it's well taken care of, and that it continues to be a valuable asset. This might mean arranging for regular maintenance, paying property taxes, or even making necessary improvements. But the trustee's responsibilities extend beyond just maintaining the physical property. They are also responsible for managing any income generated by the property. This could be rent from a tenant if it's a rental property, or profit from the sale if the property is sold. This income is then distributed to the beneficiaries according to the terms of the trust. Another crucial part of the trustee's role is dealing with tax matters. This includes filing tax returns for the trust and ensuring that any taxes due are paid on time. This aspect can be a bit complex, so it's often a good idea for the trustee to seek advice from a tax professional to make sure everything is done correctly. Finally, the trust should not be seen as something static. Life is full of changes, and the trust may need to be reviewed and updated to reflect these changes. This could be due to changes in the property itself, changes in the financial situation of the beneficiaries, or changes in the law. Regular review of the trust ensures that it remains effective and serves its intended purpose. Maintaining a trust is a responsibility that requires diligence, attention to detail, and a bit of financial savvy. But with careful management, a trust can be an excellent tool for preserving your property and ensuring it provides for your loved ones. And that's it. You've successfully put your property into a trust. Putting property into a trust may seem complex, but it's a manageable process. We've taken a journey together, breaking this down into clear, digestible steps. We started by understanding the different types of trusts, each with their own unique benefits and considerations. We then moved on to identifying the property, a crucial step in ensuring the right assets are included in your trust. Next, we delved into the creation of the trust. This is where the magic happens and where your intentions for your assets take shape. We then tackled the transfer of the property, a step that legally moves your assets into the trust. Lastly, we discussed maintaining the trust, a continuous process that ensures your trust stays relevant and effective. By following these steps, you can protect your assets and ensure your loved ones are taken care of. Now you know how to put property into a trust. Thank you for watching.